What is going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Alexa, shut up. So, today's Sunday, but this is Monday's video. So, for you guys, Loki Bust will be arriving today, video tomorrow, Tuesday. I have made a shiz ton of changes in the Marvel DC room. There's a reason these guys are out. And first off, they all need to be sold. So, we're lowering prices. Aquaman. $850 shipped. Keep in mind, this was a $1,300 statue. Or I think it's actually more like $1,400 with shipping. So $850 shipped. EX mint. Deadshot. $700 shipped. Joker $650 shipped. Harley $1,200 shipped. Buy all three and I'll discount additional. Shazam, I may have a buyer, but we're going to sell Shazam as well. $1,500 shipped. This is the deluxe, limited to 100. All right, folks. So we have some huge major changes. Boom. Now, I might lower this one, because I think it's maybe slightly too high, but Joker is completely eye level. And the reason I can do this is it allows me to keep Hulkbuster. We don't have to sell him. Now, he doesn't look quite as good down low. I can't see his portrait. Granted, Iron Man's portraits aren't really important. You can still see the incredible size and everything of him. I may lower the shelf one. Nevertheless, check that out. And it's not going to be the Mark 7 next to him. If I keep this like this, I will probably do the, Mark, what is it, 43 or... I don't know, the Avengers 2 one that is the actual companion to this, because he will be going with the Mark 7 bust. Above is purely The Dark Knight Rises, so this is my viewing angle for Joker. Literally eye to eye. And then above is just the movie, the mask on the actual Queen thing, and then that up there since I can't wall mount it. Now, this display comes with pros and cons. Pro, I can fit Hulkbuster. I can see this better. Con, as of this exact height, I have almost 35 inches, which is not sufficient to fit Bill Bust if I wanted to do both the busts there. Now, the idea kind of is we have over here 2 glass shelves. I want to remove those, throw in a 12-inch, 30-inch wide garage shelf, same height as this, because it's better to have that the same height back there. Otherwise, anything you put back there, you will not see. And back there, we do Bane with mask and bust, all in that corner. And I might move both these shelves a tad to the right, but not necessarily crucial. But the way I would do it is Catwoman bust over there, having her elbow poke out, Catwoman, J&D, and then Batman bust, and then Batman. So, this would just be like a Catwoman Batman bust display, and then the villains over here, with all their props. Underneath, you got, like I advised, Venom, Spidey, Deadpool, Wolverine, which, they all pair very well and look good. This is more spacious than it was before there. And, of course, I can fit something back there. I can fit a prop or whatever. Originally I had that guy and I threw it right there, but I can obviously just return it right there or, whatever I want, really. I suppose once you do a garage shelf, it'd be more fitting to have an Iron Man-ish, so I guess I could just return that Iron Man prop. All right, before we get to the big Marvel wall, let's show you what we've done over here. Now, there is a few ways we can do this display. So underneath, you have the Endgame display, Infinity War, so all matching lines. To the right, you have Ultron, Groot, and Black Widow. And then here is Loki, and we'll do the Mark 7 bust and Mark 7 1/4. Now, if we can't fit the Mark 7 bust and Mark 7 1/4, we could remove Loki and put Loki next to Ultron, move Groot, and do Loki, Ultron, and Widow, or figure it out. But ideally, the idea is we want to do the Mark 7 bust and 1/4, and probably the Tesseract and proof that Tony Stark has a heart. So lots of props, Mark 7 bust 1/4 display. Now, above, you have Darkseid, Cyborg, Flash. Now, Aquaman probably won't go right there. What I was thinking, so I have two options. One, we sell Cyborg and Flash and keep Aquaman there, and you just do Steppenwolf next to Darkseid. That does incomplete the Justice League line. However, we would do it purely to help fund the new Thanos bus, which we did buy. Like, it's paid for. Especially if I keep Hulkbuster. But, I think as long as we still sell Doom and OG Thanos bust, we're fine money-wise. So I don't necessarily have to sell these guys. However, I can because it can generate a lot of money and make more space. But I still do love having the complete Justice League. But I might sell them. And just do Steppenwolf that. Now, Mara doesn't take up near as much space as Catwoman did. So this display, obviously J&D Mara, it's going to still be like a big gap. One thing I can do is, scoot Mara over, do J&D Mara bust, and then that Aquaman actually right there, and then put Steppenwolf where you have Aquaman. Now, I know I can fit Steppenwolf here because I've put Darkseid over there and they have the exact same sized base. So that does actually fit, So that definitely can work. That allows me to keep the complete Justice League. If I wanted to make it a little bit more spacious, I would have to convert this to a 60-inch garage shelf. And once it's a 60-inch garage shelf, they could be side by side. Where right now, I kind of did it like forward, back, forward. Now, there's still like several inches, like the bases aren't touching. I can see each individual character perfect. So it's not necessarily cluttered, I would call it. Maybe in photos, I don't know, but in person, I can see everything fine. I can see, like, they're not touching, they're not blocking each other. And I already tried Aquaman here, and he fits, looks good. And I already did Catwoman J&D with her, and it does fit and look good and spacious. So most likely, I'll be doing that, and then, Steppenwolf there. And then that display is completely done. So, once we get J&D Mara, which should be in a few months, this display would be complete. We'll have Steppenwolf in a few weeks, J&D Mara in a few months, boom, done. This display, all we need is the Bell bust. And if we're going to do a different Iron Man over there, we would need that. So Trinity Wall remains the same. Behold, the Marvel bust wall. So, some things definitely look better in person. Visually, I can see that perfect, and it doesn't feel cluttered. I can see Black Panther great, although I do have Black Widow a little forward because I was painting. Let me fix that. Yeah, when she's like that, boom. So I can visually see everything great there. And these characters had crucial roles with the Infinity Gauntlet. Vision was the final Infinity Stone to finish the gauntlet, and Black Panther, stole the... he was fighting against Thanos. He stole the Nano Gauntlet. It all ties in great. Now, above you have Loki Infinity War, which will, tomorrow for me, be Loki Avengers 1, which does have his Tesseract, or the Loki Scepter, I'm sorry, and then Thor's hammer. Kind of the idea what I'm going for is mostly props and just in between the bust. Like Thor bust is going to go right there. Now this will be the big Thanos bust. So he's going to take up a massive space. Right now it kind of looks a little bare, the wall, because there's so much open space. But once you get big Thanos bust, he's going to go up like right there and just take up, boom. And his base is not like stupid big. So I should be able to fit and view both those props, like Thor's hammer, Cap's helmet, and then having the bust to the, each of those sides work out good. I'll probably wall mount the COA of Thanos, like maybe there or there, and then in front we'll have the coin, and I put Baby Groot for now, but that might change. Then right here in front of Cap's shield is going to be Captain America bust, and then Doctor Strange. And then you have Hulk bust. Now with Hulk bust, I kind of put some miscellaneous things, and you'll notice the prop right there for Doctor Strange. as well as Thor's prop from Thor 2, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers 1. And you got Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, Captain America Winter Soldier, Doctor Strange. We got Ant-Man and the Wasp. You got that Infinity prop from Guardians of the Galaxy, the orb. You did the Infinity War poster, which, does have Hulk right there, and then Ant-Man up there. The one thing is, I don't like having too many Doctor Strange Eye of Agamotto or whatever, because he's going to be wearing one, and I already got two. So I'm kind of like, I need to sell one of these. So if anyone wants one, I'd sell it for $50. We don't really need to. They both look great to me. They're both like metal and look awesome. They're quite uniquely different though. Like, look at that one, then look at that one. I like them both quite a bit actually. So I'm not sure. But, as far as down low, you got this display. Then you have Iron Man. Now, unfortunately, Iron Man is too deep to fit his rear repulsor, so we did have to remove that. The only way to get around that is if we pulled the garage shelf forward. Now, the only reason I will consider that is if Thanos bust needs it. However, based off what I've seen, he doesn't need it. He's only 26 inches deep with his gauntlet, and so he should fit completely fine. But we'll see. And I confirmed he can fit through a normal door. Mike told me I only need 3 people he could fit through a normal door, because I was kind of worried he might not fit. Someone told me he couldn't, but he can. Yeah, I gotta move Baby Groot. That is bugging me. We gotta move that. It needs to be just like that. Boom, but big Thanos bust. And based off his pose, I should still be able to see both of those props quite good. Captain Bust, I'm going to angle him more the shield like forward, the hammer more towards the back. And then Doctor Strange is not a very wide bust, but he is tall. So him with Captain Bust should work good. Now, Captain Bust, if you went the widest, he's like 3 feet wide. So he's basically similar to like Bats. However, if you angle him, I think I could make it so he's only probably like 25 inches. And then Doctor Strange is really like as wide as, one of those guys. He's not very wide at all. Let's say Maxie's as wide as her. So Captain Bust, let's just say there. And then of course you got the Hulk bust, which Hulk looks much better up high than he does down low. Down low, you might as well just sell the piece. You can't enjoy it. I mean, even at this angle, I can't enjoy it standing up. I'm just like, I can kind of see the eye, not good enough. Ideally Hulk should be this tall. I wish all my busts were actually this tall. It'd be much better. Only some busts look good, like this level. Like he looks good, Bat looks good. Even Aquaman could be a tad taller, but that's why I have this chair, so I can sit down and look at stuff. But this is more or less kind of the outcome of what I've done. Now, here's the thing. No matter how I put it, one display or two is going to suffer, no matter what display I do. So you just have to think what display is most important to me. And as I stated in yesterday's video, Marvel is the best series of movies ever created, and I don't think it will ever be topped. Like the Infinity Saga. Thanos is the ultimate villain, and I don't foresee that being topped. And me spending, $8,500 for a giant bust, it definitely better get damn good appreciation and be a highlight in my collection. Just like Wonder Woman on horse, she's $6,000. So Thanos is the most expensive purchase I've ever made, easily. He's more than Godzilla vs. Kong, which was $6,800. Kind of crazy how much I spent in the last week. But, so Thanos bust needs to be highlighted here. And then all the other additional silicones I have, which are, $4,000 each. Loki, Strange, Captain, and Thor are all 4K each. So they really deserve this premium real estate. They really do. Plus, Hulk is a 4K bust. Where before I had these $1,000 1/3. Granted, they're worth more than that now, but the only true grails I had on this wall are these two. And I got him, which is great, but, as far as like premium silicones, I only had 2. So I'd much rather I get this, which also allows Venom with Spidey, which looks great, and an entire bust wall, which I think is amazing. My ultimate Marvel bust wall. I think the Dark Knight Rises setup overall is a slight downgrade, and I think this is a downgrade. You know, there was obviously more space over here because you have 3 big garage shelves. Here you got 2 and a small one, plus you had that little shelf. So it's like 3.5 garage shelves where we've downsized to 2 and a small. And I guess if you want to take some of this, you could call it 3 big ones. But still, you are down half a garage shelf on this setup. Now, the Dark Knight Rises, you got 1 big garage shelf and 2 small. It's also downsized, you know, not quite as much space. So both areas did that. I mean, yeah, so either way, how you cut it, you know, these 2 displays suffered some, but this display was a massive upgrade, massive, you know, so I think it's worth it. You know, and visually, I can definitely see Joker better overall now. You know, like before I could only see him sitting down, like this was my angle sitting down, where now as I walk by, I can see him great. You know, and I tried him just at the 36-inch, but it's just really hard to see him because his head is angled down. You know, plus, you know, if I keep Hulkbuster like so, you know, I get to keep him. And like I said in my initial review, he is one of the best statues I own. So this allows me to keep him. Now you can just see how monstrous he is. You know, he's an absolute beast of a piece. So, yeah. So, yeah, we obviously got to sell Thanos Bust OG. So, I'm pricing this just at, you know, $2,500 plus shipping. It's 2 big boxes, but $2,500 plus ship. If you want to send me labels, you can. If you want to pick it up in Utah, you can. I don't know the exact cost on shipping, but if I was to guess, $180 a box is probably my guess. And then it's up to you if you want to add insurance or not. So, yeah. His condition overall is great. There's 0 issues with the silicone. There was this tiny chip when it originally came to me, and I just black markered it. It's in the back. You can't notice. Not a big deal at all. So, in order to make the Thanos display, I did have to steal from this room. I stole the, you know, things right here. So, currently this room's kind of a mess. You know, I had to remove these and whatnot. So this actually just makes so I have to go through with my plan of doing 2 small shelves here instead of 1 big and a glass. So now that I've already more or less taken this apart, I'm going to remove everything here, put that there, build 1 more of these, and put that one here, sell that glass shelf, and do that. And then eventually we'll move this glass shelf and move everything here over. Now, I'm going to make another video on it, but there's a sick looking clicker bust that I do plan to buy. And I have some ideas on how I can, you know, display it. I really want Prime 1 to make us a Jill and Ellie, similar to the Resident Evil statues, and then I have the clicker bust between them. I would love that. And if I was to do that, I'd probably move God of War here, remove that, and do it right here in the middle. That way it looks, you know, symmetrical, having 1 bust in the middle with 2 statues on each side. Everything else is 1/4, and just move Devil May Cry, you know, over into this, probably this area. You know, make that work. Anyways, folks, that is it for today's video. Quite a big update. I know some people are not going to like it. Some are going to like it. There's definitely some pros and cons. However, if we can keep Hulkbuster, you know, and all we do is sell Thanos, plus also Doom, you know, Doom Ultimate is for sale. And I'm going to lower the price, $2,900 shipped. $2,900 shipped. That's the cheapest you will find the Ultimate version with every single swap out. No issues. All right, so contact me if you're interested. We could get that shipped. I also need box space, and that's going to help out. You know, God, Thanos box. Oh my gosh, how am I going to figure that out? I gotta go into my attic and, you know, put probably 25 boxes in it. That's the only way to make this work. But yeah, we're definitely getting low in box space. Jupiter's cock. Too many statues. I'm such an addict, as you guys know. goodness. But I'm super excited for Thanos bust and Loki bust. I'm curious how much bigger Lou Loki is going to be versus this Loki. Because it seems like all of the newer queens are like 32, 33 inches tall, which is nearly as tall as Superman. So I'm curious if it's going to scale better. Because right now, you know, they don't scale good. But I think the newer Loki, being much bigger, will scale better. We'll see. So stay tuned for Loki's. I'm going to do an unboxing and review, then a comparison versus this Loki, and then I'll probably, you know, get him boxed up and ready to be shipped out. You know, because we'll want to, you know, get him shipped out ASAP. As soon as my seller finishes paying me off the last $500. That is it, though, folks. If you're looking to buy statues, use the links below, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.